Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. You notice Mike is here. Garrett is here. Hello, Garrett. How are you?
Howdy, I'm doing all right today.
Good. I love that hat, buddy.
Thank you.
Always love
It's
that hat. I
classic.
got my Detroit hat on. Chris Newberg will join us in a little bit. He was feeding Michelle. And I was like, he's like, oh, I'm going to be, I'll be there, blah, blah, blah. I was like, okay, well, I'm not holding up the show. So go stuff food in her face and we'll see you when you get here. You can pop into the studio.
Go feed your woman, tuck her in.
Yeah. Be a good boy. Go be a good boy and feed your lady. Then he sent me a video of him and Michelle, and she's fucking awesome. I love Michelle. She is one of my favorite people. I mean, I'll put up with Chris Newberg. But Michelle, we all need a lot of Michelle Dion in our lives. Seriously, you'd love her. I don't know if you've ever met her.
No, not yet.
You haven't met her yet? Yeah, she's incredible. Lot going on today. This would be a show, a day that normally we would not have a show today. So you're welcome, because if this show was based in Franklin, Michigan, no show today. There would be no power, and then it's a matter of, like, we had some issues with the generator towards the end. Trav kind of got it going, and I didn't even test it. It was kind of packed away by the end. It's here with me now. I'll never need it here. But G's got a tiny little slice of property up north, way up north, few hours north in Arizona, just in case the apocalypse hits.
Good to have.
Yeah. Get the fuck away from people. It's a small little slice up there. There's not even a house there or anything. So who knows? Maybe 20 years from now, if I'm still alive, we build like a cabin on there or something. And but it's kind of cool. But it was like, yeah, bring the generator, because a bunch of the contractors wanted to buy that generator off me. And G was like, fuck that. Bring it to Arizona and we'll take it up north if we need it there. But yeah, people panicking in Michigan today. About 400,000 people. Dude, this made the national press about DT. If they had any idea, I've never experienced anything like it, like in Franklin. Never. Like, I lived in Livonia, I've lived in Royal Oak, I lived in Farmington Hills, lived in Franklin, lots of places. Franklin was unbelievable, and it's infuriating. It is so infuriating when you lose power for days on end.
Oh, yeah.
And I wouldn't have been surprised at all. I didn't know what the extent was, because obviously I'm not there, Garrett, but I was like, hey, you've got power. It's apparently a nice day in Michigan today, but it sounds like it's out everywhere.
Most of the lights on my way to work were out.
Yeah. Well, I looked up my address in Franklin, and they were like, we're aware your power's out. And I was like, yeah, I'm so used to seeing that DTE message. And then it said reason. And it's not like some idiot hit a fucking pole and knocked
Shit's fucked.
Yeah. Shit's fucked would be better than what they say, which is wind. Like, wind is new. And what century are we in? We can't handle fucking wind. But people are all pissed off. People, I was reading the comments. I thought some of them were kind of funny. You legitimately can't take 2 fucking days to repair it. All our groceries are going to spoil. We won't have air conditioning. You have to get it done quicker. Others saying it was ironic that DTE was still sending them bills. Yeah, that never gets held up. That never gets delayed or shut off. The bills always arrive. And believe me, if you don't pay the bill on time, they shut it off. They shut it off at 8 o'clock in the morning. So if you've ever gotten in that position, and some people listening will know, 8 a.m. Dude, there were times when I knew I was late on my bill, and it was like, fuck. And it was like, which day are they going to shut it off? Is it tomorrow? Do I have to pay it by Wednesday, or do they shut it off? And then it was like, I would literally wake up in a panic and look at the clock and be like, ooh, it's 8:01. I guess it's not today. They're shutting it off. It's a horrible feeling. And
so
what's that?
I was going to say, anytime somebody complains about how hard we have it today, I'm like, no, we don't. We have auto pay. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It just makes like a lot of problems go away.
No, but auto pay, you have to have money in the bank account. Otherwise, the auto pay doesn't matter.
I don't have to remember when to pay it, though. It just
No. Dude, auto pay is the way to go. It's you're entitled because you're so well off, Garrett. You're so well off.
Me and my millions in Westland.
Yeah. No, auto pay is great. I had auto pay, and I never had a single issue with consumers. Consumers, for gas was always there. But the reason I didn't have it when things got tight, it was like, do I hold off on making a car payment for a couple of weeks, or do I because power, you can't go without power. You just can't. But there were times when it's like, all of a sudden my bill was $700. It's like, well, fuck. So the consumers was never more than $150 or something. It's like, all right, we're all right. But it's those radical swings in power where it's like, I don't know. And, it's really hard. I was thinking about it when I was reading these comments about groceries. Like, that's a real thing. It's like, oh, don't open the fridge or the freezer. And if it's 1 or 2 days, most shit will be all right.
Yeah.
But dude, with the prices at grocery stores these days, like, you cannot afford. People are barely keeping it together just buying regular groceries. Now, if you're not someone that worries about that stuff, good for you. You're an amazing person. But there's a lot of fucking people out there, a lot, that's a real struggle, that you can't just double and triple the price of groceries or gas and not have that dramatically affect their existence. And so when you see stuff like this and it's like, DT will get around to it in 5 days. It's like, great. Sure. Think about the guy that just went grocery shopping Sunday night, stocking up for the next 2 weeks, and his shit's done. It's like, is DTE going to cover that because they couldn't keep the power on? It all comes back to this idea too of how we live as humans or as Americans, that we don't, we're reactive. We're not, proactive about anything ever. Oh, yeah. It's like, oh yeah, the terrorists attacked. Now we do something. It's like, it's just the way we are. I still don't understand, like, okay, you live in an area where this happens it happens so frequently in Franklin, and people that have followed this show for a long time are fully aware of how often this would happen. It's like, at some point, don't you think it's better, instead of losing power for 3 days, 4 days, 5 days at a stretch, multiple times a year, not once a year, once every couple of years, no, 8 times a year, 10 times a year, it seemed like that was happening, where, went out for a day, went out for 2 days, went out for 3 days, like all the fucking time. It's like, bury the fucking lines. When you're doing this work, bury the lines and then never worry about it again. And I understand there's probably a whole cabal of these companies that are like, oh yeah, we would be out of work if we fixed the problem. It's like, there's plenty of other jobs. It's the same thing I don't understand with, snow falling. Like, okay, when you build a new road, welcome to the new century. Like, so every 5 years, we need to go through this orange barrel bullshit season in Michigan, which is basically year-round. Dude, it's remarkable around here. What they consider construction on a road is...
It's a pothole fill.
It's hilarious. I'm not kidding, Garrett. I don't mean to rub it in people's faces. It's hilarious. What the difference between driving around, name the area in Southeast Michigan, name it, and anywhere around here. It's remarkable. And it's like, yeah, I understand, we get a lot more moisture, a lot more rain, snow, hitting the ground. We salt the roads, for snow. You get cracks, water gets in, freezes, expands, you break the cement, fine. At some point, don't you think you'd go, hey, why don't we invest in this? Why don't we use some of these taxes to go, okay, we're redoing 696. We're going to redo it. And at that point, when we do, we're going to put heat coils under the fucking cement. Let's go crazy. And so when snow comes, it doesn't matter anymore. And maybe there's people going, well, you idiot, you can't do that because of blah, blah, blah. It's like they do it in NFL. Like, they're starting to do that shit in NFL stadiums. Rich people do it in their neighborhoods. That, like, you think rich people are out there shoveling their fucking snow? No, when they put in they get new driveways and they put heated coils or whatever under it. It's a luxury, but it seems like something that would be worth at least having a discussion about, especially in these areas of the country that just get hammered with these power outages. I don't know. So, I suppose people listening to this in the vast majority of people are in Southeast Michigan or Canada. And, maybe they'll hear this in a day or two. But I don't know. It seems like anyone in power has no fucking vision. It's what I've always liked about the Elon Musks of the world. And I know he's public enemy number one right now. If you're on the left, he was your darling a week ago with, renewable energies and electric cars and all that. But I've always liked Elon, even though I disagree with him on a lot of things politically. don't need to agree with him on everything.
Yeah.
But I always loved the idea of like recognizing a problem and not waiting. Like, it is a catastrophe to drive through LA, San Francisco, major cities during rush hour. And rush hour isn't just 5 o'clock for an hour. It starts at 2:30 and it could be hours. And it's like, this doesn't seem smart. This doesn't seem productive. This doesn't seem like a healthy society. And whether it's successful or not, at least someone's trying.
Yeah.
I
was about to say, you want to talk about Michigan fix? I'm surprised I have power considering most of the telephone poles in my neighborhood are held up by other telephone poles. Like,
really? Yeah.
Like roped together.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I was watching Facebook videos today or pictures of people with all this shit going on. And there are ways to fix that. Maybe it costs a little investment, at first, but I'm never like, that's where I think the government can be useful. I wish they'd stay out of our business on virtually everything and all their wasteful spending programs and bullshit. But protecting your citizens and infrastructure seems like something we can all get behind. You would hope anyways.
Yeah.
That everybody could get behind failing in infrastructure. I fear it's the death of us, honestly. I really do. The wrong grid goes down and it would take a month before us pussies would be wiped out, No,
100% it is. I mean, it takes one good attack on the right substation. You can wipe a city for a whole day.
Yeah. Oh, you could.
And nobody would know what to do.
You could wipe it for much longer too.
Yeah.
And what do they say? We have a food supply of like 30 days or something. Honestly,
barely.
If you shut down the systems, yeah, I know it's kind of the sky is falling, but it would be so welcoming to me anyways if you had people. It's just such a corrupt industry, the government in general, that I don't think you're ever going to get the best people, the smartest people that want to do it. It's just not worth it, for them. Ask Donald Trump what his life was like pre getting into politics versus now. You know what I mean? Like, it's just not worth it.
They used to sing rap songs about him and everybody would want to be him. And now he is public enemy number one and making less money than he ever has. Yeah, making less money, the most hated man on planet Earth without question.
And yeah, you're right. He was glorified, heroized. And, it was easy to make fun of him, but, people still looked up to him and, whatever. You're right. Rap songs referenced him all the fucking time.
Oh, yeah.
But Pope Francis popping off again. Fuck this guy. Is he the woke pope? Is that what he is? The woke pope, Pope Frank. He gave his general audience on yesterday or today, I guess, might have been this morning. Pope Francis waded into political arguments about immigration and borders. And we'll give you some details on the Vatican City here in a second.
I was going to say.
Yeah. Talk about what these people are really like. Pope Francis said Wednesday that those who knowingly and intentionally repel migrants are committing a grave sin. His words, grave sin. The Pope spoke at length about the poor condition of migrants who attempt to cross a sea or a desert to reach safety, but who sometimes lose their lives in the process. The tragedy is that the majority of these deaths could have been prevented. It must be said clearly, there are those who work systemically with every means possible to repel migrants. And this, when done with awareness and responsibility, is a grave sin. We all remember the photo of the wife and daughter of Pato, dead from hunger, thirst, and desert. In the time of satellites and drones, there are migrant men, women, and children that no one must see. They hide them. Only God sees them and hears their cry. This is a cruelty of our civilization. Unbelievable. You're like, I did some digging on the Vatican itself.
Yeah.
And the Pope, because a lot of people would be like, okay, we'll open the fucking doors of your city then, dickhead. Do you just let migrants, no background checks, no ID, no nothing? Do you just let them storm the Vatican and hang out? The Vatican's a city, right?
Well, not just a city, it's a country.
It's a country. Yeah, they could literally launch nuclear war if they wanted.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's a city. It's a city in its own country, right?
Yep.
Within Rome, Italy. The Lateran Treaty, signed in 1929, granted Vatican City independence from Italy and established it as an independent country. Vatican City is the world's smallest country with a population of around 1,000 people. It's an absolute monarchy with the Pope having absolute executive, legislative, and judicial powers. So no separation of powers there.
Nope, just him.
Yeah, the Pope gets to do whatever he wants, whenever he wants. So you would think, well, since it's a grave sin for us mere mortals out here to not just open arms welcome any fucking sack of shit from anywhere on planet Earth across our borders. Well, obviously you wouldn't have police keeping people out of the Vatican, would you?
No.
Oh no, they do have their own police force. It's called the Corps of Gendarmerie of Vatican City State. They're responsible for security, public order. This must be a misprint. I apologize, Garrett. I thought I did enough research on this. Security, public order, border control.
Hold on.
That's weird.
But he said that you're not supposed to keep migrants out. That's a sin.
Grave sin. It's
grave
grave sin. So these military police that the Vatican has, they're in charge of border control, traffic control, criminal investigation, other general policies, police duties in Vatican City. They also do 24-hour security for his popeness anywhere in planet Earth he goes.
I suppose that makes sense.
Yeah. To join the Corps, this is weird because the Pope, the woke Pope, would be one of those that's like, oh no, anybody can do anything. Did you make a joke that just went over my head?
No. I just in my head I pictured Keanu Reeves and Constantine, and that's the Pope security force. It's just a bunch of Keanu Reeves in that movie.
Is that I never saw.
It's a very Christian Marvel comic.
Oh,
about
it is?
angels and demons. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Is it good?
They made a movie about it that went absolutely nowhere, starring Keanu Reeves. Check it out when you get a chance.
Oh, was it supposed to be like? Oh, yeah.
It was supposed to be the Marvel universe.
Yeah. Boy. Yeah. Those Christian things when they do them, Christian rock band.
It's like Christian rock of comic books.
Yeah, it just doesn't. I don't know. There's something rebellious about the arts that just doesn't work that well when you throw a Christian bent to it. So if you want to join their Corps, because we're told here that 5 foot tall, pudgy women can be in our Secret Service, and of course you're a monster if you think otherwise. I mean, so what if Donald Trump is 6'4" as a protectee? Let's have a 5'2" SNL looking Pat character be in charge, part of that team to cover that individual. And, our fire department, why wouldn't they have let's have midgets on the front line, rescuing full-grown adult males from burning buildings. Why not? Well, it's a little weird. The Vatican doesn't see it that way. The Vatican, you must be at least 1.8 meters tall. And that seems like a really shorty, like 1.8. I was like, ooh, 1.8, but it's meters. That's actually a little over 6 feet. So I'm not welcome I'm not good enough to be in the Vatican's police force.
I'm barely good enough at 6'1".
Barely. Yeah. It's under 6'1", but it's over 6 foot.
Okay.
You must pass physical fitness tests, including being able to run a kilometer in under 3.3 minutes.
That might be tricky. I got bad lungs.
Yeah. And you're a pussy.
Yeah, a little bit.
And you're limp wristed. Remember when you were in the military and you snapped
that doesn't have to do with running.
You snapped your wrist immediately.
I mean, if it was a push-up test, I might have a problem.
You just get all floppy wristed when you do a push-up.
Oh yeah, I get down there.
Which, you should tell them that. If you go try out for the police corps in the Vatican, you might want to tell them, like, I might be able to run that mile, but if you make me do a push-up, I'm going all limpy wrist on you.
But he likes gay people now. They said it's okay in Christianity again.
Sure. Yeah. The Vatican has many rules and regulations in place. So you might not be able to do everything you want there. I Googled, can you do anything you want at the Vatican? Why not? I mean, Jesus, love,
Well, you'll be forgiven in the end.
Turns out you can't just do anything you want. You can't just break their laws and do whatever you want, no matter what the woke Pope says the rest of us should do. You can enter Vatican City for free to visit St. Peter's Basilica. And St. Peter's Square, but you need to pay to see the Sistine Chapel and Vatican museums. Oh, so the elites and the wealthy can go see those.
So the church. It's just the church.
Yeah. If you don't have enough shekels in your pocket, you're not welcome to go see it, though. Chris, I think that's Chris Newberg joining. Yay.
Yes, it is. Bring him in.
All right. Wait, hold on. Are you bringing him in? I just brought him in. Hey, Chris Newberg.
What's up? Sorry I'm late.
No, you're fine. You're fine. Did you feed her?
I fed it.
Nice. Good job. What'd you feed it?
She wanted chicken, asparagus, and some pepper salad.
No one cares.
Yeah, but you asked.
I know. I'm just kidding. Well, good. You know what? Every time I see a video of her, I was telling Garrett, I just adore that woman.
She's a good
You're
lady.
so lucky. She's fucking hilarious, adorable. She's one of my favorite people. I put up with you, Chris, but I adore Michelle. What were you saying, Garrett?
Will she be at the October 11th show in Lake Orion?
I don't think so.
We're living as a vacation.
You're not bringing her to Lake Orion?
No, I'll bring her in February when I do the castle. But
it's just dude, she's done the castle a ton of times. Why wouldn't you want her at something as cool as a theater show?
It's a one-off. I mean, I'm just going to fly in, fly out. But you mean, Garrett, October 11th at Wildwood Amphitheater?
Yeah, that's the one I'm talking about.
Now, and the gentleman who said he bought 6 tickets did not buy 6 tickets.
Really? Maybe he said he was going to buy 6 tickets.
That sounds more like it.
Yeah, believe me, he's a man of his word.
I'm sure he is.
If he said he's going to buy 6 tickets, I know him personally. He will.
That's good.
I know where he works.
Why are you shitting on fans? I mean, why would you do that?
Wait, if I can quote you from yesterday, it's my fucking show.
I'll do whatever I want. Yeah. Dude, you think I'm not a giant hypocrite? Yeah, I am.
I know you are.
Yeah, if I want to shit all over Forey, I will.
What did I miss? January 6th and what else?
January 6th, we're talking about that. No, we're in the middle of beating the dog shit out of the Pope.
Oh,
which is good. So if it's not January 6th, we're going after the papal.
You're going after the Pope
and Christians. Yeah.
Why?
The Pope has come out and basically said that if you don't welcome mass migration, it's a grave sin.
Mass migration. Does that mean like when everybody who's in church moves, like a mass, or like mass as in a whole bunch of people?
A whole bunch of people. Yeah, I get it too. No, he was not talking about mass, like Sunday mass people. He was talking about mass migration, like crashing borders. It's happening all over Europe. It's failed miserably. They would like to see that. Well, we have seen it the last 16 million
You're still mad at the border today?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm mad at the Pope too, and I'm calling out the hypocrisy. If you notice the theme for my show, it's nobody likes hypocrisy. And when we see it, we call it out because the Vatican, it turns out, is its own country.
Yeah.
And has its own rules. Believe it or not, they have their own police force. And one of the duties of the police force there is public order, security, and border control. So do as I say, not as I do. Right. So the Pope wants to lecture the country and the world about how they treat mass migration, almost like he doesn't understand. It's a little more complex than just like, open arms for all. Like, yeah, that's great. That doesn't solve real problems in the world. But so we're just kicking his teeth in a little bit and showing people what the Vatican's really like. Did you know you can go visit? Because they like to point this out, like, the Vatican is open to the public. The people can go there, and you can go into Vatican City for free. You could visit St. Peter's Basilica, St. Peter's Square, but then you need to pay if you want to see the Sistine Chapel and their museums.
That makes you angry. How do you think they're going to be able to afford to pay off all the lawsuits against the priests?
Well, they could sell some of the, what are the estimates? $1 trillion worth of art that they have.
That's true.
They could sell some of that.
Didn't they say like, wasn't there the thing when Notre Dame, the chapel burned down and wherever that is? In like 4 hours, everything was back to normal, but Flint still can't get water.
Yeah, dude. Doesn't surprise me at all that would be the case. It doesn't surprise me. Was it really? Did they already prop that back up? I remember when Notre Dame burned. It was like front page of every paper in the world.
Yeah, it was already back. It was already back.
Wow. Yeah. That's
we're
crazy.
Doing great over here.
Yeah, it's because they charge cover at the Sistine Chapel.
Yeah. Which I don't have a problem with. I really don't. But when you're trying to like morally judge everybody else for your behavior, I just want to point a few things out to people. There's a dress code, which doesn't seem very Christian to me. You know, I understand. Code? Yeah, I understand why they have this stuff, and they do this kind of shit at elite golf courses and specialty steakhouses where you can't wear a hat. You need to wear a collared shirt. Okay, but the church it seems like you would, if I remember correctly from stories I heard about the Bible, Jesus was the guy, washing the feet of hookers and degenerates and people that were, criminals. The worse off you were, the more Jesus seemed to want to help you along. But no, at the Vatican, there's a dress code.
That was in Jesus's Tinder bio. Hookers,
was it? Yeah.
I'll wash your feet.
So you're thinking Jesus had a foot fetish?
Why? No one. That was a big thing for him. Foot washing.
Yeah, big thing.
Big thing.
Isn't that a Muslim thing too? Isn't that big in the Muslim community? The foot washing. We've heard about foot baths in places. Yeah, I think it is. You must dress appropriately to enter the Vatican museums, the Sistine Chapel, the Vatican Gardens. No sleeveless shirts. Sorry, white trash. You're not welcome.
What?
Yeah,
no sleeveless shirts.
You can't go sleeveless. You think you can go just stroll around the Vatican sleeveless?
You're telling me,
fucking monster?
I can't wear my shirt with Jesus on a bald eagle that says "Back-to-back World War Champions"?
Nope. Not if it's sleeveless. No low-cut clothing. Sorry, you want to tell Michelle or you want me to tell her?
That she can't wear a half shirt to the Vatican?
Yeah. They don't want to see your belly button. Fuck out of here.
I don't know. Whenever there's a dress code, there's always like an exception to every rule.
Yeah.
If the Pope showed up sleeveless, people would be like, come on.
Yeah.
Come on in.
Yeah.
Come on in. Well, if the Pope was wearing that Pope hat.
Yeah, I was just going to say, you show up in a Tigers hat and he's like, get the fuck out of here. But then he can wear that goofy ass wannabe Klan hat and we're all like, oh yeah, cool.
Yeah. And do you think go ahead.
No shorts above the knee.
So the entire state of Michigan cannot go in the winter.
Yes. Let's see. You should also cover your shoulders. Avoid visible personal objects or tattoos. No tattoos. That might offend Catholic morality.
Oh, I'm way out.
Yeah, you're fucked. You can't go at all.
Do you have the spider on your elbow for how many years you spent in jail?
Oh, yeah, totally.
Is that the reason?
No, it's
plus,
not.
Dude, you love cock, so you're not welcome in Jesus' house to begin with.
No. Pope said,
remember, don't forget that.
But the Pope said cock is cool now. You can like cock again.
Wait, the Pope's totally cool with cock?
Yeah, woke Pope said gay is okay.
Oh, okay. All right.
I'm going back to heaven, boys.
Welcome back. We missed you guys.
I know. I thought I was going to burn forever.
The gay makes every fucking community better. So why would you want a gayless heaven? That doesn't sound good on any level.
The decor would be horrible.
Exactly.
Horrible. Yeah. No. Think about what we'd miss out without the gay in charge of theater productions. I'm expecting in heaven, the theater productions alone are fabulous. And if you don't have the gay running it, come on, let's be honest.
If you think about it, if there were no gay people in heaven, it would be all man caves with guys dressed up. No offense, in football stuff, and just lazy boys.
Yeah,
lots of chairs. But there'd be a lot of cool gold curtains if there were. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't want to go to a heaven that's not full of the gay people.
Well, I'm glad woke Pope is on board and is welcoming in the gay.
We're good.
It's been too long, to be honest with you. By the way, if you show up and it's like, ooh, I got that spider tattoo, or I'm sleeveless. Holy shit. What was I thinking? You can buy a poncho or a robe.
A Pope poncho?
To cover your shoulders and knees. Yeah.
They're going the opposite of the Disney rules, which means I can't show up. Like in Disney, you can't show up as a character, meaning I can show up to Vatican City fully dressed as Jesus.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound like it, because you have to have, I would imagine you have to wear socks, right?
Well, yeah.
I don't know, because I think Jesus was he was a huge, he wasn't a Crocs guy, but he was a sandals dude.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Jesus wasn't wearing Crocs back in the day?
I don't think so. I think he was more of a sandals guy.
Were there Crocs back in the day?
I think so.
They've been around since the dawn of time.
Old Testament Crocs?
Yeah, can you imagine? Be pretty cool. What are the ones? What are they?
Thou shalt put your Crocs.
Yeah, I think he was a Birkenstock guy. I think Jesus was. Yeah, Jesus was a giant Birkenstock guy, if I remember correctly. By the way, so basically what these rules state is if you're some filthy migrant, they don't want you milling about in the Vatican. That's what I'm reading into the rules. I didn't make it up.
Where's this article from?
It's from many different places.
Oh, is that a publication?
No.
Many different places?
Yeah. No. These are some of it was at this religious site. Some of it was at this Vatican site.
Is this news, or you just pulled it up?
Oh, I just pulled it up.
Okay.
Yeah. No. I saw the story today was the Pope was like, how dare you not let these people in? It's a grave sin to not let migrants welcome with open arms around the world.
Well, that's his job. Like, he's got to do that. He's the Pope.
Yeah, he's the woke Pope. But I'm saying it's a little hypocritical that their rules don't say the same thing. Their rules are completely different about how they feel about borders when it comes to their little city. In their little city, you have to wear special clothes and dress a certain way and fucking all this. And we have a police force to enforce it.
Well, okay. May I ask questions?
Sure.
Okay. First off, they don't enforce the border of Vatican City. Anybody can come in there. It's just
sort of.
You said anybody can enter free. It's just they can't get into the cool Chuck E. Cheese places. You know what I mean? They can't do that stuff unless they have a specific dress code.
Right.
But does the dress code say anything about migrants?
Are you saying they'll be treated differently based on their appearance?
I'm just saying you were talking about a dress code, right?
Yeah. I was going to make a larger point, because they wanted to do this to give the impression that, anybody can go to the Vatican. It's like, so Donald Trump tweeted out or Truth Socialed something out after the Pope said this. It was like, there's walls all the way around the Vatican to protect the Pope. What's he talking about? And so I was like, is the Vatican a walled city? Yes or no? And it's like, well, sort of. So let's watch this video.
In 850, Leo IV decides to build a wall around Vatican City to defend against invasions. The wall rises 39 feet high and stretches 2 miles long with 3 fortified entrances. While the wall protects the Vatican from foreign attack, new threats are now coming from within the city of Rome. Throughout the Middle Ages,
that's basically
the great Roman families compete for...
So the answer is yes and no, according to the Vatican's, the research I was doing. Pope Francis said the urge to build walls rather than bridges is not Christian. So that's when Trump went, it's surrounded by walls. And then the New York Times and CNN had to rush out and go, no, Trump's a liar. Trump's a liar. So it's not really a walled city. Actually, it is and it isn't. When he said the Vatican is completely surrounded by walls, Trump was wrong. A large swath of Vatican property, St. Peter's Square, is ordinarily wide open to anyone who wants to walk in, through or around it. You could also walk into the Vatican Basilica once you go through security, or the Vatican museums once you pay for a ticket during regular daytime hours. However, the remainder of the Vatican, the important stuff, the offices, the gardens, the palaces, all walled off with very restricted public access. The gates are manned by Swiss guards who will stop anybody seeking to wander inside. The walls of Vatican do what walls are intended to do: protect the people inside from outside intruders. Yes, there are parts of the Vatican to which the public has ready access, but Vatican officials decide which parts you can visit and when you can visit. And while you're allowed to enter St. Peter's Square whenever you'd like, you're not allowed to stay there. And so if you're wondering for context what this is about, because I don't have a problem with any of this. I want to be clear. I don't have a problem with any of this. It's the hypocrisy of then shaming the rest of the world into being like, it's as simple as you're not a loving person if you don't just open your borders and welcome people from anywhere in the world, no questions asked. It's a grave sin if you don't. That kind of attitude is what I have a problem with. Not that they behave like this. I think the Vatican should behave like this, just like I think we should. There are open streets all over Beverly Hills, California. Anybody can pull onto Rodeo Drive. Anybody can walk around those neighborhoods. The problem comes when you try to get into fucking someone's yard. And how far is that going to get you, Chris? You've been around those areas. You able to just walk into someone's fucking property, their house?
Into their house? No. Walled? Probably not. But if it's their front yard, yeah, you could walk across it.
You think you can get to Ben Stiller's front yard and just walk around it?
I think there's a difference between Ben Stiller's front yard and the average person from Beverly Hills. I just before I was walking today near George Clooney's house, and it's he has a massive wall and a massive driveway and a security version. As he should.
He should.
I don't even think he lives there. I think he lives in Italy and he just uses this place to hang out.
Oh yeah, he lives at Lake Como or whatever. Is that where he's at?
Yeah, but he's got a big place in California.
Oh, he's probably got a dozen places.
Well, most celebrity places are not easily accessible. I think that, but it doesn't stop a lot of people. I mean, didn't Pelosi's family have a guard and broke in and took out the guard and beat up the husband?
Yes.
So I think
with a hammer.
Yeah, with a hammer. His gay lover showed up. Yeah, of course it's horrible. And that's the point that people would like to make when people make that argument about if you build a 20-foot wall, I'm going to open a 25-foot ladder store. Or what about the people that fly? It's yeah.
Who said that?
Your soon-to-be vice president said that. Your wannabe vice president, Tim Walz.
Oh, did he really?
That. Yeah.
He's my wannabe president?
Yeah, he wants to be your vice president.
Oh, I thought you were saying that I wanted him to be vice president.
No. He's lobbying to be the vice president of the country with Kamala Harris. His famous quote, we played the video here a couple weeks ago, is, you build a 25-foot wall up, I'll open a 30-foot ladder store. And it's that's fine. I don't expect all security measures to be 100% safeguards. That's not how it works. We all know that. It doesn't mean you leave your front door unlocked because there's no other way to penetrate that. No, you have a level of security that you hope. It doesn't mean someone can't smash a window and come through your house. Very easy if you lock the door. It's a wall's not going to prevent everything. You should have drone technology. I expect celebrities to do it. I don't have a problem with the Vatican doing it. I think it's just a dumb argument. If you don't have some level of security around your country at all times, what are we talking about? That's not racist. It's not a grave sin. You should have a process. And this country, people in America should not feel guilty or shamed into thinking we are by far the most generous, the most welcoming country on planet Earth. And there's not a close second. We just are. And so, but there are limits to what people can get away with. The Pope travels with 24-hour security everywhere he goes and has bulletproof glass around his car and security walls around his palaces and all the artwork. They don't just welcome in any fucking migrant from anywhere on the planet and let them waltz into their town. They have security checks and IDs and my point was, they won't even let you walk in there with a fucking baseball hat and a tattoo showing. They'll make you get a poncho to cover it. So this idea of being welcoming to everybody and it's just it falls on
it bugs you.
It does. It's the hypocrisy of it, and I think stupid people fall for that. They fall for that, and we've done this for a long time, Chris. I know usually when you're on the show, it's not about heavier topics like this. I get it, but I've covered this for a long time. Maybe Garrett, you can pull up the video of the two guys talking about their private jet, and these guys can justify any of their behaviors. Any of their behaviors. And one of them, it might have been Kenneth Copeland, it might have been the other guy. Actually, I think it was the other guy, was talking about how he was having conversations with the Lord. And he was happy with his $45 million jet, but Jesus was encouraging him to get a $57 million jet.
No, that was Copeland.
Was it Copeland?
I think it was Copeland.
I think it was the other one, but it doesn't matter. Go ahead and play it. We'll play some of it for Chris.
Copeland, I was flying home from a meeting, and I had come out of a glorious meeting. I had just finished, me and Creflo Dollar were preaching. Had a glorious meeting. So I was, for lack of a better way to say it, I was spiritually high. People were saved, touched, and blessed. Got in the plane that God so graciously gave us, and we're flying home. As I was going home, the Lord, real quickly, he said, Jesse, do you like your plane? Now, I thought that's an odd statement. I said, well, certainly, Lord. He said, do you really like it? And I thought, well, yes, Lord. Then he said this, so that's it? I didn't know how to handle it for a minute. I went, what? He said, you're going to let your faith stagnate? And when he said that, that shocked me. I went, whoa, wait. I literally unbuckled my seatbelt, my plane. I stood up. My pilots looked around and said, do you need something? I said, no, I'm talking to God right now. And he went back to flying. I said, Lord, I don't think I was letting my faith stagnate. He said, so this is all I could ever do. I said, you're trying to tell me something. He said, go to the book of Amos. So if you're at the book of Amos, I want to read the scripture.
May I interrupt you there for a second? Mm-hmm. You couldn't have done that on an airliner.
No, sir. No way.
Stand up and say, what'd you say, Lord?
No.
Okay, no, yeah.
He's got back his buddy up.
Yeah. What the hell does he think he's doing? You can't do that.
You can't do that.
Can't do that.
This is so important. And those of you that are just now coming into these things, in the first place, Jesse and I and others, Keith Moore and Creflo and all of us.
Yeah, all of you guys with your private jets.
The world is in such a shape, we can't get there without this.
That's right.
We've got to have
First of all, you can do that. Have you ever flown Spirit?
Yeah.
People do it all the time.
I would have to stop. I'm being very
By the way,
concerned.
pause for a second, or minimize for a second.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure, I don't know if Jesus used NetJets, but I'm pretty sure he used a donkey to traverse the world.
Not even a horse.
To spread the message. Yeah, I think it was a donkey and a couple dipshit buddies. Something along those lines. But this idea that, you can't even get there. Do it like Jesus did then. Hot shot.
Do you think in essence what this guy's doing is the same sort of like manifesty positive thinking stuff, but he's using the like religious Lord spin?
Oh yeah.
There's no difference in that and someone who's like, I'm gonna own the Empire State Building one day. It's like because God told me to, etc. There's no difference.
Except these guys already own the stuff. They're
sure they want
God
more
as
stuff.
Why they own the stuff. It's like, oh yeah, I own the private jet. It would be one thing if he said, I want to own a private jet one day, and then he owned a private jet through hard work or manifesting his way. But he's got the private jet. Now he's getting flack for it because he's supposed to be a man of God, preaching to the everyman. And
not to mention it's donations. All of it's done through donations. They're shaming their audience
non-tax.
That video we played a couple of years ago or a year ago, Garrett, with the one preacher. Someone had written him who was like, I've only got $10 in my bank account. And he was encouraging her to send that $10 to him, her last $10, that Jesus would reward her for sending your final $10. And it's like, holy shit, dude.
Totally get that. But
terrible.
But maybe I misunderstood that video. Wasn't that guy saying, okay, preacher guy, you have a jet. Are you happy with your jet? Is this all you want? Have you achieved? Or do you think you should get a better jet? And then Jesus
that video goes on and he talks about getting a better jet. And then there's another video where he's got a wall of pictures of the private jets that he's had. Mm-hmm. And he stepped up from the Gulfstream 3 to a Gulfstream 4 to a Gulfstream 7 because Jesus told him to aim higher. And we need more donations. This $54 million jet that Jesus wants me to have isn't going to pay for itself.
That's the problem, is the access.
And these stupid people donate their fucking pensions to these clowns. Do you have the video of the other guy? He might have been in Michigan because one of the places they talk about buying from the Gucci store in Troy, Michigan. I don't know if we'll get that far into it, but the Gucci store in Troy, Michigan, that would be Somerset. Listen to this guy.
All right, so what is this?
Turn it up, Garrett.
Center?
Yep.
So there's the center.
It's a good house.
No, it's a religious center.
That's not a house.
No.
A place that the ministry owns. Well, not own. We're in the process of buying that. Yeah. We don't own it yet.
Are you renting to buy, or are you?
Yeah, we're leasing to buy.
It's a nice mansion with a pool.
You have that as an asset of $2,844,500. So do you own it?
I just answered that, didn't I? I said we didn't own it.
Okay, but where does the? I'm sorry.
We're leasing to buy it. Did you? I thought we just said that.
All right, but you have listed it as an asset worth $2,000,000 $844,000.
Go ahead and fast forward about a minute, Garrett.
That should be more of a
So you can see that house. That is a religious center. That's a religious center only.
Mistake. Like I say, it probably should be.
It was a mistake in the filing. We don't own it.
And what goes on at the residential center?
It is really it's a gathering place for our ministry where I bring in different leaders and also the staff.
God bless them.
And a bunch of hoes.
I think there's a special place in hell reserved for these people. I really do. Go ahead and fast forward it a little bit, Garrett. I want to get him talking. That's good. Right in there. It's fine.
28th, total of over $1,700 to Monsieur Clothing in New York.
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
All right, you testified at your last deposition that JMMI owns 3 vehicles, a BMW, a Mercedes, and a Bentley.
Just spreading the word.
Have you driven those cars?
Yes.
Yeah.
Is Michelle?
No. We usually have a driver.
The 3 cars that we've talked about, in whose name are the titles?
Then the ministry name.
They're all in JMMI.
They're all in the ministry's name.
Everything except
so we don't
the
pay
Bentley.
taxes on those.
Whose name is the Bentley in?
This is a tax filing issue.
That's exactly why I do not like the churches too much.
I have a question, just from a, you minister the poor and the sick and all that. Isn't it a little offensive to be driving around in a Bentley and a Mercedes to people that really, are impoverished and sick and ill and AIDS and drug rehab? Isn't it a little offensive to sort of being
a little
bit, yeah, just a little.
Showplacing what you have?
Well, dear one, I don't showplace to people, and I'm not in
Bentley.
that car. You don't see me driving around in that car every day. I don't do that.
But it's in the ministry. Everybody in the
I read
ministry
a pause
sees
for a
you.
sec.
You said you drive it.
I read one comment from a guy on this video that just said, with every lie, his hairline gets closer to fucking Jesus. his hairline goes further and further closer to heaven, or something along those lines.
Let's get there.
So you can get rid of this. I think you get the point. This guy is using funds from, people to buy stuff like private jets, mega mansions like that, and then be like, oh no, this is just a meeting spot for leaders to discuss the Lord. That's all it is. And it's like, why did you spend 10 grand at the Gucci store? And it's like, his answer to that, why did you spend $7,000 at the Gucci store on suits, was like, well, I'm working for the Lord so much. Sometimes I sweat a lot through my clothes, and so I need new suits. And she's like, Gucci? Fucking Louis Vuitton? And he's like, well, it's good stuff, and I need that. They're like, you spent $1,700 on a belt at Gucci? He's like, well, it lasts a really long time.
Would this guy go to jail?
I don't know. I don't even know. Probably not.
Was he in Michigan?
I don't know, but he was either traveling through Michigan or he's from the area. But they mention a Gucci store in Troy, Michigan, so I'm assuming it's Somerset, right? Like that's where that would be if you were in Troy. Would be the Somerset. What do you like?
I scrolled down to the comments to see if anyone had the name of the guy, and the first comment up top is "innocent until proven Gucci." Figure Chris would appreciate that. And then I also like this one. Why don't they interrogate the politicians like this too?
Yeah. It's a fair question, man. It's a fair question. It's
innocent until proven Gucci.
Yeah, innocent until proven Gucci.
I thought of 2 things.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I just wanted to make sure before we moved on.
Yeah.
You did come up with a really cool slogan for Waltz.
What?
And when he's on tour.
What's that?
All right.
Waltz into your town. Waltz into your town.
I like Harry Balls better instead of Harris Balls. Harris Balls.
Yeah, I get it. That's funny.
Yeah.
And I had 2 more questions. I'm sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
First off, I'm going to close my eyes and I want you to do your impression of Mike Lindell and Trump back to back. And I want to see if I can figure out who's who, because they're very similar. So go ahead.
They're not at all similar.
Okay. Close my eyes first.
Dude, hold on. Honestly, I'm not supposed to. I still do them, but I've got a paralyzed vocal cord, and I'm not.
That's right.
They don't want me doing any of that shit.
Okay, then disregard. Don't do that.
Trump is like this. The Trump, which so many people do better Trumps. It made more sense 10 years ago.
Do Lindell.
And Lindell is My Pillow. He's got a very Jesse the Body Ventura. It's a Minnesota thing. It's Minnesotan.
It's like Trump with a lisp.
It's like my washing machine.
Yeah,
I'm going to Washington, D.C. Huh?
Don't hurt your voice. I feel bad.
Use promo code TDC. Go to mypillow.com. Get the best night's sleep you can get. Try the Giza sheets.
Do you think he still has money?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You do?
Yeah. Yeah, I think he's fucking been walloped for sure. I mean, dude, when I went to his place, when he showed me around his facility, I'm not kidding. There were 20 18-wheelers like in a fucking hangar, like a airplane hangar, like 20 of them packed to the brims, being sent out every week to take shipments of his stuff being sold everywhere.
That's cool.
Like massive every week. What's going on now? I have no idea. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not upset about it. No, wait, now I only have one more thing before we go to the next.
Yeah.
You ready? It's a joke I wrote today. Want to hear it?
Okay.
Right.
I've never been in a threesome, but I've been in some threes.
Yeah.
Solid. I get it.
How many threes? Were you
play.
drinking when you were in those threes? Yeah.
Probably. They might have been sixes when I was drinking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not bad. Are you going to use that on stage?
Do you think, first off, I know that I can get away with a lot of corny stuff or silly stuff on stage because it's all about the delivery.
Yeah.
It's 100% about the delivery.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sure of it. So yeah, I'll get away with it.
By the way, it was announced today, and I'm interested in your take because you know this individual. The Golden Globes have announced
Nikki Glaser.
Yeah. Outrageous comedian Nikki Glaser. Do you think about Nikki Glaser as outrageous? I mean,
I don't think anyone had a better roast than she did.
Nope. Yeah. And nobody has. And I love that. I love that there's a fucking chick out there delivering, like, not with no asterisks, with no, like, for a chick. Like, no, she's going up there and fucking absolute being an actual boss. Going up there and like, oh, wow, you had 10 of, 3 of the hardest hitting male comics out there today at the Tom Brady roast. And she beat all of them. Did better than all of them.
The roast, when she hosts the Golden Globes, it'll be the same thing.
I hope so.
She'll just tear those people up.
I think her stand-up's good. I like her stand-up. I think her roasting capabilities are fucking second to none.
She's great.
Like, she pulls no punches. It's weird to me how there are comics like that I see do roasts that are unbelievable, and I'm not a giant fan of their stand-up, which is weird. You'd think that your delivery is the same. I don't know what that is or why that matters. But Jeff Ross for a while, Greg Giraldo was one who I loved his roasting and I loved his stand-up. I thought, it's a shame we lost that guy when we did. I thought Giraldo was fucking brilliant with what he was doing in the late 90s. Have you gotten into him, Garrett?
A little bit, not
Greg
too much.
Giraldo,
but
he's unbelievable. How do you think Nikki will do hosting the Golden Globes?
I think she's gonna be great. I've had sort of a change of heart in the past months working on this show with all these people. I mean, it's like I worked with Jeff last week, and
Jeff Ross.
Yeah, and he was exceptional. He was like such an old school, and it's just like, and I've like joked around in the past and be like, oh, I had a problem with Jeff Ross over some stupid ego thing on my end.
You did?
Yeah, it was silly, but it was just like, it was really silly, but it was like, I probably blew the whole thing out of proportion, but I probably did. Like, I just like,
yeah,
it's long, it's stupid, it's not necessary, it doesn't matter, but
which by the way, we all do. I look back on things in my life where I know I was 100% in the right, fuck this guy, blah, blah, blah. And then as I grow and I get older and I'm like, you know what, if I'm being fair, I was in his space doing this around, like, if I look at it from a different angle, he was still an asshole, but I was kind of an asshole too. Like, it's part of maturity.
It was ego. It was just ego, and it's just like now I just like I have no interest in having anyone do anything other than win, etc. But So he comes into the show, and the way the show's set up, you're supposed to get 3 questions, and he shows up with 2 writers. One was Jordan Rubin, who is easily one of the best comedy writers in the business, and another gentleman, I don't know who it was. And I had to put these jokes out, and it's kind of pride swallowing when you have to deliver jokes to people of that ilk who are just fucking amazing. Because no matter, you're in a room with 5 other writers, and all 5 of you think these jokes are good, and all of a sudden here comes the comedian who has an entirely different opinion what's funny, and they're like, I want to beat it, I want to beat it, I want to beat it.
Yeah.
So we had this, I don't even remember what the question was, but it was really funny. It was funny. And
so it's an intimidation thing, you mean? Being in the room,
no,
God.
It's not an intimidation thing. It's pride swallowing to the extent of it's my job to write jokes for this person who's in no way going to use my jokes because they know what they want. I'm the same way. When I come in, I know exactly what I want to say. If there's 5 writers they'll give me choices, and I'll be like, okay, cool, thank you. But if I know what I want to say, it's going to work with my voice. It's going to work with my delivery. And he's like, that's good. That's fine. I want to beat that. I want to beat that. I want to beat that. And he went out there and he was just fucking laser, and he was in his element, and he was so good. And afterwards he was so thankful. I guess he told the showrunner, he was welling up. He was so excited. He was just I haven't had anything like this on TV in a while. And it was just a great experience. I really needed it. And it was awesome. And yeah, he was throwing darts and he was insulting people.
He felt that way about Hollywood Squares?
First off, the show's going to be huge. CBS is spending so much money on it. And what's going to happen is this is going to become the new At Midnight. It's going to be the new Chelsea Lately. It's going to be the new panel show because it's an absolute format and platform for comedians to be funny. And it's they don't have to be on. It's first off, you're on CBS, which is tons of people either through streaming or through actually being on live. And it's you're literally being lobbed softballs to be funny. So it's the viral component is huge. So many. I mean, it's a really exciting thing to be on it.
But how many comics are going to be on it? Because isn't that historically TV stars, not many movie stars, but wasn't that what Hollywood Squares was back in the day when we were kids?
Maybe there was more celebs back then. This sounded like Pete Holmes was on it. He was amazing. He killed. Whitney Cummings destroyed. She was arguably the best.
Yeah, she's great at everything though. Is that a rotating cast or is it the same 9 people?
I think it'll end up being rotating because of how well people do in the format. Some people didn't get the format. And it's if you didn't get the format, it wasn't something that was fun to watch. But if you got the format, it's bring him back. And as far as Nikki goes, Nikki's been, I was on Last Comic Standing with Nikki in 2004. So it's now 2024. So she has for 20 years been slogging away and thumping and just coming close and missing and coming close and missing and having shows and Dancing with the Stars. And it's just and all of a sudden one day, 19 years later, it lines up that she's on the Tom Brady roast. She is razor sharp.
Don't you think she was already getting huge?
I don't think she was there yet. She just kept coming really close.
Yeah,
but
maybe.
She was the host of Fuckboy Island. It didn't blow up. She was on Dancing with the Stars. It didn't blow up. She's had several comedy specials. They didn't blow up.
How much does her being smoking hot help?
I would imagine to the people that's important to, it probably helps a bunch.
Oh, you mean men in general?
I'm just saying, no, very few people watch comedy because the comedian is hot.
Yeah, that's true.
Very few.
I was going to say, look at Matt Rife's fan base.
They're older women who
like a nice hot boy who think
he's adorable. Yeah, a lot of his fan base isn't his age.
He is good. No, I'm not saying
he's good though.
I'm not saying he's
bad.
He's really good at what he does.
Yeah, I'm not going to shit on Matt Rife because he's super popular right now. He's decent for sure.
But his fan base is a lot there for the looks. Part of it.
I disagree. I think that there's you're 100% right, Garrett. There's part of it that is that physically he's a perfect looking human. You know what I mean? It's just he's a good looking man.
But there's a lot of women specifically who would never go to a stand up show unless it was a Matt Rife. That's kind of
what you're saying, Garrett, is Taylor Swift saved Matt Rife's career.
100%.
No, I would say hotness on that level will get you in the foot in the door. Will get you people to look at you. Stand-up comedy is different. Stand-up comedy, that might get people initially to you and go, fuck, man, that chick's gorgeous. Like, I look at Nikki Glaser and I remember 20 years ago going, damn, that girl's smoking hot. No doubt about it. But if her stand-up isn't solid enough, you're gone.
That's the same.
You're gone. I could see watching her muted if it was just a hot chick. But Nikki has more than that. Nikki is, I'm just asking how you would think that would push her over the top, but she's,
Name one other comic. Okay, so without question, she's a beautiful woman.
Yeah.
Name another comedian whose beauty was as important as what she said in the world of comedy. It's never. It's always comedy. It's what they're saying first.
Yeah.
And it's just that's just all it is. It's like Seinfeld.
How many smoking hot chicks are in comedy though?
Out here, plenty.
Really? Are there a lot?
Yeah, but you have to be funny.
Oh yeah. Oh, at the end of the day, you most certainly do.
Tiffany Haddish is beautiful. She's also funny.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember what Tiffany looks like. I know who she is. But
she's she's a beautiful woman.
Yeah, I got you. Hold on.
Yeah.
Are we going to see a picture?
Yeah.
I'm trying to find
I just want to refresh my memory because I know I've seen her. I know, but I'm trying to put it together.
Here we go.
Any luck? Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
She's a pretty woman. I don't know if that's the best picture of her, but she's stunning.
The other one didn't seem good for YouTube. Sorry.
That's fine.
Yeah, and Whitney Cummings is beautiful.
Cummings is beautiful.
But as pretty as they are, they're twice as good as comedians.
Yeah.
They're smart. They work hard. They have great jokes.
I wonder what kind of impact this had. Like my fear, I thought Ricky Gervais was so good in that space where so many people fail because he legit didn't give a shit about
She's going to do the same thing.
He wasn't going to stroke their egos. He wasn't going to play up to their megalomania. And it wasn't going to go unannounced when they're like, we need to stop milking cows. I want to dedicate my time to that. Save the cow milker. Like whatever retarded political statement they were going to make and use this time on stage when accepting their award for their little whatever stupid thing they're into and make the country suffer through it and feel less than because of it, because that's how it always felt. Ricky didn't let that just go. He didn't just be like, oh, I'm still being funny, but I'm going to ignore what these people just said over here and how absurd it is to the rest of the nation. He would address it. And they fucking hated him for it.
It was a masterclass.
Masterclass.
100%.
It was. And I think if Nikki does what we've seen Nikki do in these roasts, she's been groomed for this for years now. She's been delivering ass-whooping roasts for years now. Every time she's on, she never fails to deliver. Never. Yeah, she hits a home run every time.
They could easily be grooming her to be the next host of the Academy Awards, the next host of that could be her next thing for the next 20 years, just doing hosting and killing. No question.
The Globes is the one where they get all shit faced, and it's the one that kicks off the season and all that shit, right?
It's the one that I think it's either the Globes or the Emmys, and I think it's the Globes that Joe Coy had sort of a mishap. Had a poor performance last year.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah.
Was it the Golden Globes or was it the Emmys?
I'm looking right now.
So, but it just
I don't even know what it was.
It just depends how Nikki approaches it. If she's also going to be in an entirely different audience. Like it's not going to be as warm of a reception. Like those rooms are notoriously horrible for. You have a bunch of like vacant or vapid celebrities who are just like, this is about me. Go ahead, try and fucking make fun of me because you're not getting anything back. And if she goes in there guns blazing and it doesn't work, I mean, it's highly unlikely.
Can it fail in that room though, but work for the country? Because Ricky plowed through that. Ricky didn't give a shit. He knew the people on the other side of that camera were laughing their asses off and loved every second of it.
Well, he doesn't care. He famously says, just because you're offended doesn't mean that you're correct.
Right. Absolutely.
So, but it took him. He was definitely met with an icy reception the first year and the second year, and he torched him the third, fourth, and fifth year.
Yeah.
But it's all that took was one executive producer to believe in him and say, this guy's great. You guys can fuck off. He's coming back. And he did.
Yeah.
He just kept doing it. So is
that a ratings thing? Because the celebrities looked even worse on stuff like that. They did. They looked even more you know, I don't even know what the word is, but more elitist in their reactions. Like they can't even laugh at it. Like Meryl Streep doesn't see, what are you talking about? And it's like, yeah,
Meryl
the
Streep
rest of the
laughs.
country finds this fucking hilarious.
Meryl Streep laughs. She's a good sport.
Yeah, actually Meryl's a bad example. But some of the comedians, like I think Leo usually will laugh at stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But some of them don't. Some of them are absolute stone-faced. And Ricky doesn't pull any punches with them. I hope Nikki is like that. I don't know. Here's the thing, though. When I was growing up and then 20 years of morning talk radio, stuff like the Golden Globes, the Oscars, the Emmys, the MTV Awards, those were massive events. The whole country was watching them. They were something to aspire to, look up to. You weren't talked down to quite as much. There was some of that, elitist attitude, but for the most part, people were pretty cool. It was pretty well received. The separation in people wasn't so great. They weren't so involved in themselves that it just made for good stuff. And then you would have one guy go off the deep end, go way too wackier with his political statement, and we'd play it the next morning and beat the shit out of him. And people would call in an email. Like it was a whole thing. We're to the point now where these award shows, unless Ricky Gervais was hosting it, I didn't even mention them. They didn't happen. Didn't care. Oh, the fucking Oscars went on last night. Oh, I wasn't even aware. Didn't know, didn't care. And nobody went, dude, I haven't got an email in 10 years from someone going, dude, did you watch the Oscars last night? Did you see the Emmys this weekend? Like, no.
Well, since 2020, the medium of movies has been significantly decreased. I mean, if no one goes to the theater anymore, otherwise, unless it's a very rare occasion like Deadpool or Oppenheimer or Barbie, and also the playing
Despicable
field
Me.
Sure, but also the playing field is super level. There's no world like right now. It's just as important. Like let's say, for example, TDC with the new TDC with the tripod of fury that is woke Bay Garrett, me not understanding politics, and you with a paralyzed vocal cord strikes an actual chord with the country. Something goes viral, something goes whatever. And all of a sudden, TDC is the number 4 show in the country. The number that's the number 3 show. Then it's the number 1 show. For whatever reason, it's now just jamming. There's no way that is any more or less important than Tom Hanks' movie about spaceships. It's on the same fucking level now.
Yeah.
And anyone can do it because you're in Arizona. I'm in Los Angeles. You're in Michigan. And it's just like there's no reason to say. Like you could literally, like Matt Rife 2 years ago, Matt Rife, who's been doing comedy for 10 years, and struggling and having no money and going on the road and doing the thing, has a video pop where he luckily speaks to someone who is cheating on their wife. And the next day he's got a $25 million guarantee from Live Nation to go on the road. Yeah. So it's like everything's different. Like before, when it would be in the mornings and you would watch and you'd be talking about Golden Globes, you'd talk about all these other things. That was the only access you had to it. But now you can be bigger than you can be so big they talk about you at the Golden Globes because you're so popular.
I was gonna say, how many Hawk Tua jokes are going to be made at this Golden Globes?
At least 2, I would say.
You think so?
I think there's going to be at least one.
Yeah,
at least one.
I don't know.
Why wouldn't there be?
If I was placing a wager on it, I'd say none.
I disagree.
But I could be wrong. You guys would know more than me, maybe. But no, I think my point was, and maybe you're right, Chris. I haven't thought a ton about it like that. It seems like there was a further and further push about the people on stage not just being like grateful for winning an award and thankful to people seeing their film and I want to thank this person you've never heard of and this person you've never heard of. And you liked seeing the beautiful people get their award for something and be gracious and thankful. And then there would always be inevitably, a great performance by a band, or there would be one whack job. There'd be one weirdo that would get up there and make some radical political statement. And we'd all laugh about it. It seems like it's gone further and further and further in the way of relatability is why that tanked. It's like every one of you has to get up on stage now. Instead of it just being a one-off crazy thing that happened and everybody talked about it, now everybody's got to preach to people and talk down to people about, and it's like, that's the feeling I got, is it like it went so far and it almost felt like you're attacking the general public that goes and supports these things in a way that, like you've gotten too out of touch with humanity to even recognize that this is how the rest of us sees you. And that's why someone like Ricky Gervais comes in and punches them right in the fucking face. And they don't laugh about it, but everybody else gets it. Everybody knows what Ricky's talking about. And so while I think you're right in that there's way more access today than we've ever had, someone could just launch a TikTok video and be a superstar. There's also, I think it's not just in the last 5 years. I think this was building for a long fucking time. And to the point now where it's like, the only reason I'm mentioning this story today is because I like Nikki Glaser, and I'm hopeful that she will be able to do what Ricky was able to do the last few years. And if she doesn't, I will watch her intro. I'll know immediately if she's playing on that level. And if she's not, I will shut it off and I will not mention it the next day. It didn't happen.
You'll be pleasantly surprised. She's been training for this for 20 years.
I won't be. I would be shocked if she doesn't do that. From everything I've seen of her, I would.
You don't think you'd be shocked if she doesn't fail? You're expecting her to win.
I'm expecting her to fucking hit a smash home run, absolute home run.
Oh yeah,
she's never disappointed me, never. Yeah. So and I think there's a growth that goes on doing it year after year and smaller venues and this outfit, that outfit, dude. She's been great all along. It'll be very, very disappointing to me because I know what Nikki Glaser does. The vast American public might not yet, but I know what she's capable of, and I feel like I know her as far as what sacred cows are and what aren't. And I feel like if she goes full Nikki Glaser, absolutely none of them are sacred cows in that room, just like Ricky Gervais. And if she doesn't do that, I'll be highly disappointed.
But she'll also be classy about it, and she'll tell them how much they love them immediately after and hug them like she always does. It's crazy. No, I think that, but also what you were talking about is like the older, the people who've been celebrities longer, these award shows, that's their platform. Like that was like where their soapbox used to be, where they could have access to all these different people. And like I said, again, now everybody's platform seems to be pretty even, depending on like what you say and how it goes. Yeah.
No, we're in a different world as far as entertainment goes nowadays. No doubt about it. I've never been a fan of the instant general public overnight superstar guy. Whether it's Cash Me Outside Girl or
who has incredible sustainability.
Yeah,
she's still going.
Yeah, it's to me a sign of rot in a fucking society so great that there might be no coming back from it. Like it is, like that person was rewarded for absolutely atrocious behavior and celebrated therefore. And to me, that's the message that sends to your society is shitty. But that's just me. I understand. Like, hey man, whatever you get off on, good for you.
But there's no possible way you could be surprised. I will say four people who have had horrific behavior, who became massively successful, even if it was for 5 minutes, and could potentially. Kim Kardashian is the greatest example of who's wealthier, who's more successful, who's more powerful, and she was railed in a video that her mom decided to market. That's why people know who Kim is. Not because she used to do Paris Hilton's closet, not because her father was an incredible attorney. It's because she made really cool little girl noises on a video, on a sex tape that many, many men wanted to buy. Cash Me Outside Girl talked about how much she hated her mother and how she was going to talk about whatever and do whatever she wanted. She still recently got beat up by her boyfriend on camera, and she's still talking about how she makes $1 million a week on OnlyFans. You look at fucking Charlie Sheen. a drug addict who sold out the Fox Theater just to
I was
sit
there.
on stage. Yeah,
I was there.
And all he did was drugs and fuck porn stars.
Yeah.
Okay, he was in Red Dawn, cool.
He got AIDS. Don't forget that.
Sure. I don't know if he did. Didn't he beat it?
No, it was in his Tiger Blood.
No, Tiger Blood.
Yeah, whatever. Like atrocious behavior, ridiculous. Like he tried to kill himself. Now he's embarrassed of how he acted, and no one talks about him because no one.
Do you
cares.
remember?
No, he just came up in the news recently, drunk in a Taco Bell drive-thru.
Oh, good for him. He's
oh,
back.
nice. Chuck
He's
did.
back.
He's back.
He's back.
Nice.
I'll find the video real quick.
The world needs a little Charlie Sheen in it.
I love
not
it.
Not the raping, Haim kid, Charlie Sheen. Like we don't want that one. But
no, not that guy. Not at all.
But the Tiger Blood, that one. I don't mind so much. Are you pulling up a story, Garrett? It looks like you're looking at it.
Just a video. Awesome. Is Charlie Sheen shit-faced in a Taco Bell drive-thru running up to people's cars?
What's your name? Jaden.
What's your name?
Yeah, I'm Charlie.
Nice to meet you.
Sorry, I'm so fucking
No,
hammered.
you're cool, man.
Hi, sweetie. How are you?
Sorry, I'm so fucking hammered.
Tamara? Hi.
Hi.
Awesome.
You're rad, man.
You guys are in a fight.
No, we're not fighting. What's up with that tattoo? Let me see that tattoo.
Which one?
That one right here.
How do you get that? How do you get that drunk?
I don't know.
Charlie Sheen.
Go Reds.
Reds, yeah. Ripping.
You're hilarious.
All right, man. Thank
That was 2 months ago.
How do you get that drunk?
Yeah, I don't know. I've seen you close to that drunk at my house before.
That was that was when I used to smoke. That was like when I used to do edibles.
Yeah.
But I mean, never.
Yeah, you guys with your edibles. I
don't do them anymore.
No?
I haven't done weed in like a year.
Dude, what is Charlie, 60 now? He's got to be like 60 years old. To your point, how do you get that fucking drunk? Stumbling around a Taco Bell parking lot, like...
It's not just beer, let's be honest, or booze.
Yeah, he's got to be on drugs.
You think so?
Absolutely.
I mean, that looks like every fucking absolute shit-faced 18-year-old I hung out with when I was 18.
But
I've seen that guy.
And he's 58, by the way.
He's 58.
Yeah.
Like, that should be reserved for 23 years old Taco Bell drive-through. Like, yeah, we all love Taco Bell, especially at 2 a.m, but... Yeah, that's a little...
I mean, I'm not judging. I'm in any stretch. Like, I do enjoy drinking alcohol. I do like my tequila, but I sip it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just like a fucking gentleman.
Yeah.
And if it's like, and I can always tell when I've had too much to drink because Michelle tells me.
Yeah.
And she's like, "You're done now."
We've had some wild nights and fun in Michigan, in LA. We've gone out and gotten crazy. We've gotten out of control.
Not that drunk.
Not that drunk. That's my point. And we've drank for hours. Beers, shots, mixed drinks. Like me, you, and Michelle.
Yeah.
Like we've done that. Rolled around and fucking had tequila drinks and vodka drink. Like, yeah, getting that fucked up. And yeah, that's a little it's crazy. Do you remember the video? And I tried to find this and I couldn't. I know some of my nerds could probably dig this video up. The David Hasselhoff hamburger video.
Yes.
Is one of the greatest fucking drunk videos ever. Good luck finding it.
I'm sure you had it scrubbed.
How? Like the only one I know that has the power to scrub like that is Dan Gilbert. Dan Gilbert, I know, scrubbed the internet completely of the videos of his commercials for subprime mortgages or whatever that was. And I remember Charlie LaDuff wanted to do a story on that. And he's the one that was like, try to find him. And if you remember, if you were in Metro Detroit at the time, those fucking commercials aired every other commercial. Every other commercial in Detroit was those mortgage things from Rock Financial. And he's like, dude, the internet world has scrubbed those. They're fucking gone.
I got the video.
You got the burger video?
You found it? Dude, I couldn't find it one day.
Got it right here. 6 minutes of it. Let's get forward a little bit. So he's like leaning back. That's when he starts talking.
I just talked to her, and she just called the manager of the show, and they said that tomorrow, when they the doctor's coming over, and if they test any alcohol in your blood, you're fired from the show. Thank God they're not coming tonight because you'd be fired from the show. The doctor's coming early in the morning. If you have any alcohol in your system, you're fired from the show.
Oh, this poor kid.
Yep.
Okay.
Just eating his burger.
He's like, fuck off. I was in Baywatch. I'm huge in Germany.
This is, I don't want to, it's depressing.
Yeah, it is. It is. Go ahead. No, and I didn't mean to pull this up. I'm glad you did, Garrett. Thank you. That's a very good job as a, in doing your job. I wasn't pulling that up to make fun of him. I just remembered it's like an outrageous video. And I did go looking for that for some reason at some point, and it was gone. I don't know. Was that hard to find, Garrett?
No.
Because did you just like YouTube?
Yeah, I
Maybe
Googled
it's
it.
back.
I went to DuckDuckGo, just searched, and then a YouTube link popped up, and it was right there.
Yeah. Crazy.
This was 5 years ago it was uploaded, so it's definitely a re-upload.
Yeah. Yeah, because that was a long time ago.
There was an episode that I did with Jay Adams. Like,
yeah,
one of the ones that I did with him on when heroin has, like, during mid-COVID or whatever. Oh, my God. I was inaudible. It was just like it was just like I was like mid-sentence, and I think it was one of the last times I did edibles. It was just like I was literally like, I listened back to it. I was like, I'm just gonna throw it up, and I threw it up, and then a couple weeks later I listened to it. I was like, I'm mortified.
Yeah,
humiliated.
Did anyone say anything? Did anyone brag on you for it?
Maybe not. There's never like very few people care how much another person drinks. It'll go as far as we just did. Like, I've seen that guy in high school. You don't laser focus on it. What's the quote? If you ever realized how little people thought of you, you would never care what other people think. Like, no one obsesses over your mistakes like you do.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
100%. And we stress on it more. I'm in awe of people that don't give a shit and truly mean it. Because everybody says that. Like, lots of people say that. I don't care what anyone thinks. And then their behavior shows that they absolutely care what everybody thinks.
Sure.
The people that truly don't, I'm in awe of those people. And they tend to get further in life anyway. So I'm doubly in awe. I was reading this story. I didn't know who to blame. I mean, a woman is suing American Airlines. Lots of lawsuits going around. I love seeing the videos whenever they come out from.
What's she suing him for?
Well, I'll tell you. She was sexually assaulted, allegedly, on board a flight by a stranger sitting next to her. The balls of some people. Honest to God. Can you imagine fucking groping someone on a plane? Holy shit.
That's crazy talk.
New Jersey woman is suing after the incident. This happened August 26, 22, during a night flight from Charlotte, North Carolina to Newark, Liberty International. I'm assuming that's Newark, New Jersey. So she took a seat. After taking a seat next to a friend, the woman closed her eyes to sleep, and an unknown male penetrated her digitally. The woman blames American Airlines for not preventing the attack or intervening to stop it. Shortly after takeoff, the flight attendant turned off the cabin lights, and plaintiff closed her eyes to sleep. Plaintiff awoke to find the perp's left arm inside her pants and his right hand forcing her hand onto his panus. The stranger covered them up with a black puffer jacket. The woman was described as being frozen and in a state of shock and panic. Also, the traveler managed to climb on top of the woman and continue the assault.
I feel like somebody else on the plane would have noticed first.
Right. Like, did nobody notice this? And then he climbs on top of her and still nobody? Everyone's like, nothing to see here. Plaintiff gathered the courage to push the perp away, at which point he quickly returned to his seat. Afterwards, the attacker tried to act as though nothing had happened and even asked the woman, would you like some water? Can I get you some water? She's like, nah, I think I'm wet enough. So, yeah, he's sitting 2 seats behind her. He's like, just thought I'd offer you a cup of water.
It's horrible,
trying to make it all go away. Yeah, no shit.
By the way, good friend that you sit next to.
They didn't even know each other.
No, she said the first person when she was starting the story, she sat next to a friend, and then somebody else from on the plane came over there and assaulted her.
Oh, yeah, where was the friend?
Okay, the New Jersey woman managed to wake her friend, who reported the alleged assault to a flight attendant. The woman was switched to a different seat for the remainder of the flight. At that point, I feel like American Airlines kind of did their job, right? Like, okay, we've been told that there's an issue here, that this happened, and we're going to remove them from the seat. My guess is the story finishes with, and law enforcement was waiting at the tarmac to arrest the individual. That's usually how these go. So I don't know how you sue American Airlines.
Was law enforcement waiting?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So after the aircraft landed, the man was escorted off the plane. Authorities took reports from the victim and other passengers. So first off, the airlines are controlled by the Federal Aviation, the FAA. So you don't have jurisdiction like New Jersey, Newark, New Jersey police don't have jurisdiction. This always becomes a federal Bureau of Investigations type thing. So what the FBI did with this, I don't know, but that's who would have jurisdiction on a fucking plane. The woman's attorney, Brian Andrews, told The Independent, as alleged in the complaint, we look forward to seeking justice on behalf of our client to remedy the terrible injustice for all that she suffered. American Airlines said, we're reviewing the lawsuit and the details of the flight. Safety and comfort of our customers is top priority for American. So I don't know exactly what American Airlines did here. I know they're the big name. They have the deep pockets. So if you're going to sue someone, you sue American Airlines. But I don't like there's another story. So a lot of these stories always include like, wow, this isn't the first time. And I'll give you details of that next, where I go, yeah, I kind of blame the airlines on that one. But in this particular case, like, I don't know, maybe they're supposed to keep an eye on every passenger, but there's a lot of hanky-panky that goes on planes. Lots of people are with their seatmate and, getting jacked off under the blanket at night. Like that.
Lots of?
Yeah.
Oh, more than you'd wish to know.
Yeah,
Okay.
I bet that happens a lot, especially with younger people. I'm not one of these people, but I definitely, I could see that. Have you ever joined the Mile High Club, Chris?
Only in Canada.
What do you mean in Canada?
I was in Canadian airspace, so it was the 1.63944 kilometer group.
Did you join for real, or are you just making the kilometers to miles? You fucking asshole.
That's a good joke.
Yeah.
Math on the spot.
Yeah, that's not bad. Is your math correct though?
1.69344 kilometers
to
a mile. I don't know, Garrett. Can you look up and see how much kilometers to a mile is?
I'm assuming that's right because it's a lot of numbers, and you seem very confident. But let me
No,
check.
I think it's wrong. I think he's absolutely wrong. How many feet are in a mile?
It's like maybe it's 0.1.
5,000 something feet
Shut
in a
up,
mile. It's
Garrett.
like
How many?
Okay.
You're asking me? I don't know.
Yeah. Okay.
But
So
I know
you're not.
how much?
not a
What's
man.
what's the metric?
It's like 5,204 or something.
You're in
feet to a mile.
No. What is the metric equivalent to a mile?
Yeah, it's 1.609 kilometers.
You were sort of right.
Shut the front door.
Where did you get your 0.33 bullshit? You rambled off.
It's going a little further. 1.609,344.
Yeah, it's totally right because I wrote that joke. Like I did the research.
Dude, I asked you. That's why I said, is your math? You said I did that math quick, and I said, is your math
Well,
correct?
I mean, I haven't done the joke in like 2 years. I just remembered it.
I was thinking for some reason it's like, I was thinking pounds to dollars, and pounds is lower than dollars. So if it's like 500 pounds, it's like $700, something like that. I was thinking along those lines when you were doing that math. I was
there's a getting pounded for dollars joke here too. But I'm not even doing that.
So that's where my head was going is no, kilometers I think is a little less than miles. That's why I was adamant that your joke was wrong. But I was doing the math in pounds to dollars.
I'll accept your apology now.
Do you think this lawsuit has anything to do with the fact that the Sandy Hook families just won a $73 million lawsuit against Remington, the gun manufacturer?
Oh my God. Hilarious.
Yeah, they won.
Yeah.
It's settled, but
yeah, what Remington did wrong. No, it's people feeling bad about a horrible tragedy and then wanting to monetarily reward someone for someone else's behavior. It doesn't make any sense, but that's why you go for a jury. You try to get 12 sympathetic people to go, yeah, obviously Remington didn't have anything to do with this, but they have deep pockets and we're going to send a message. So
Did you see Runaway Jerry?
$70 million. What?
Did you see Runaway Jerry?
No.
It's pretty good.
What are you talking about?
The movie Runaway Jerry.
Oh,
John Cusack, and Rachel Weisz, and
is it new or old?
It's older.
Yeah, I may have, Chris. Why? What's the?
It's the same thing. It's a reward for it's a gun verdict.
Oh, okay. Yeah, dude, that would be a good one. If you can pin the gun manufacturers to a lawsuit, you're gonna probably do really well. That's my thought. I think Remington is responsible for Adam Lanzinger mowing down a bunch of fucking kindergartners? No, I do not. But I know how people are gonna think and how juries are gonna react to a tragedy when you're talking about 6-year-olds. Like makes sense. Yeah, of course. So that one, I don't know what American Airlines is supposed to do there unless they see something and they don't react properly, which is this one. In May this year, Tiffany Morgan began legal proceedings. Ms. Morgan is an attorney for a boutique entertainment law firm based in New York City, and she frequently traveled on American Airlines. She claims she's been robbed of the ability to travel independently. She's terrified of facing a similar assault. She took 2 Benadryl before boarding to help her relax and sleep during a 2-hour flight as she was a nervous flyer. And I was like, you got all fucked up and then couldn't control. And I was like, nah, a lot of people do that. A lot of people take shit to make them feel comfortable on a flight.
Yeah, I do.
Like taking a couple Benadryl, I got no issue with that. So she's woken up 30 to 40 minutes later before the end of the flight by an attendant who tapped her on the shoulder from a row behind. The flight attendant urged Ms. Morgan to go to the galley at the back of the plane. Once there, she was asked, if she knew her seatmate, who was said to be absolutely fucking David Hasselhoff shit-faced. And so this chick wakes up from a Benadryl stupor, and they're like, do you know that guy? Your seatmate? And she's like, no. She was informed, oh man, he's been aggressively playing with them titties ears. Like aggressively. And she's like, excuse me? They're like, yeah. But we didn't do anything because we just assumed you guys maybe knew each other and you were totally cool with him grabbing your titties for half the flight while you were out cold. See, now this one I go, yeah, American Airlines should probably pay up for that. Exactly. If someone's drooling, sleeping in their seat, and then there's some absolutely shit-faced guy just going to town on her tits, yeah, at that point, American Airlines should probably step in and say,
hey, wait till she wakes up, dude. Let's hold on.
Yeah.
People are horrible.
Excuse me, sir. This girl appears to be passed out. Can you not be slapping her tits around right now during the flight? Is that too much to ask for? So yeah, the man waved his hands before her face to make sure she was out. Then he began groping, rubbing, fondling. The off-duty crew member wasn't sure. Are they traveling together? Is this some kind of game they play? And so he just sat back and did nothing. Ms. Morgan was found a new seat, and the police met the aircraft on arrival. Police told Ms. Morgan that they had no jurisdiction. Yeah, of course, the feds would. There was a delay in the FBI arriving at the gate because it was the weekend, so the suspect was not arrested. The lawsuit said American Airlines' failure to act or even respond is not only disappointing and appalling after a corroborated sexual assault on a passenger, but raises serious questions for other women traveling alone with the airline. American Airlines' ignoring of this incident is unacceptable given the severity of what occurred and its crew's contemporaneous acknowledgement of the seriousness of the incident and their role in permit. Yeah, get your checkbook out on that one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't think there's any way. It's so funny how Chris gets appalled at the news stories I pick sometimes.
I don't get appalled. I'm just saying the world sucks.
Yeah, humanity's a problem, dude.
That's why we're here to laugh at it.
Yeah.
We all fucking suck.
And I love to put myself in the situation of like, what would you do? Like, I could see a couple people on a plane getting frisky. If I saw Chris and Michelle sitting in first class like they do, those elitists, and they started getting a little handsy under the covers, I'd be like, all right, I'm going to let this go for a little bit. Let's see where this goes.
Let's see where this goes.
Let's see where this goes. If I was sitting back there, as a sky waitress, as a male, what do they call the male ones?
Sky waitress.
I was thinking gay, but yeah, a steward. If I was a steward, and sitting there and I was watching you and Michelle get a little handsy with each other, I'd be like, all right, let's see where this goes.
No, but what's she doing with her dad?
Yeah, I would think that too. Maybe you're a bad example. If I saw Garrett and Marina just fucking jacking each other off on the plane, just going ham on each other,
We like to play pilot and pretend we're flying.
Yeah, it looks like a downhill skier just fucking going to town on each other. I'd be like, all right, let's see where this goes. As long as they keep it covered, we all know what's going on. This is me as a steward.
Yeah.
But if all of a sudden I looked over and Garrett was like this, and Marina was just head down on that dick, just going to and fro, I'd be like, well, time out here. Time out. Hold on. As a steward, I have a role here. This gentleman appears not to be very with it right now. And so I'm going to interject and get involved.
That was my cutoff line. Is the fact that she was out cold is where I draw the line. I don't care if you're related, if you know each other, what the situation is.
Well, that might make it even worse, Garrett.
Well, yeah, but if the chick's out cold, I'm stepping in. I'm sorry. Even as a passenger, if the chick's out cold and I see that shit, I'm jumping up like, hey, buddy, fuck you doing?
Which is why I'm on record saying, oh yeah, you might as well get your checkbook out right now, American Airlines. That's going to be a fucking problem. The first one, I don't know. I don't know what their responsibility is in that situation. I mean that with all sincerity. I don't know what their responsibility is if you if you see something and like, man, maybe they're a couple. I don't know. Like, it's kind of weird. I guess they should just step in and say, hey,
not on the plane.
Not on the plane.
Yeah.
It's an appropriate place. I don't know. All right, let's wrap it up there. Chris, you can hang up now if you want. You don't have to put up with emails.
All right, cool.
All right, are you doing a show today?
No show. I already did one.
Oh, you did? How'd it go?
It was really good. We talked about threesomes with your family.
Oh, and you bitch about the stories related. I pick?
First off, I didn't get graphic. I wasn't, the threesomes weren't going down a ski hill.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that was going down, by the way.
Yeah. I've done that forever. You should know this about me. I get in great detail.
It was a fun episode. I haven't done an episode with her in 2 weeks because I was working, and it was fun.
Threesomes with your family, is that a thing?
She had a threesome with 2 cousins, and it was a pretty horrible story.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right, well, there's a teaser for you.
Female cousins or male cousins?
Male cousins.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
I like this girl.
She's got balls. Yeah, she does.
She's got, dude, the fact that she told that story.
Listen to Newberg.
Yeah,
I'm going to actually listen to Newberg's episode tonight.
Yeah, it's a good episode. And,
that's good shit.
Yeah, and October 11th.
Lake Orion. We're living as a vacation.
Yeah, and then I'll see you kids tomorrow.
Okay, see you, buddy.
Right, see y'all.
Okay, we'll do an email or two and then we'll get out of here. Shows. And from Connor, he's still bitching. I don't mean to complain, but I saw you were live last night and there's no show this morning. It's 9:30 Eastern time. Seems kind of odd. I will ask.
Uploaded around 10 o'clock Eastern.
What's that?
We've been getting them sort of like 10, 11 Eastern.
Why?
Posted. I don't know.
I mean, is that like a algorithm thing? I don't think that's an AA run thing.
I don't know what it is, but whatever it is, it's just getting uploaded a little bit later. And people are used to it coming out maybe an hour or two after the show ended, so they can get it in the morning, listen on their way in.
Right. That's the way it always was, and that's kind of the way it was designed. I would think that the show we're done here, whatever, 4 o'clock Eastern or Mountain Time, and then like by tonight in an hour, it would be available wherever. Now people can get it on YouTube and Facebook, right? And I'm assuming it's on Spotify and everywhere else.
I don't think Spotify, but I know if we went live on YouTube, Facebook, they can always go back and just listen to it there, like watch it.
Yeah, but I understand the people that want it in their podcast app, and it's just a new episode's there. But I don't know what that delay's about, Connor. I'm sorry. I will ask again. And
the nerds are on it.
Yeah, see if we can find out. Because that kind of sucks. All right, with that, we'll call it a day. I don't know how much longer Chris Newberg's going to do this show. I think he is appalled by the subject matter.
Not at all. He'll get it. He'll start.
I really think he is, and that's okay. I don't blame him.
He'll learn. The humor is like you got to lean into it. It's going to get crazy, but you just lean into it, and it'll all be okay.
Yeah. It's not for everybody. I understand that. I've known that for a long, long fucking time, but I don't feel like changing. I don't know about you, Garrett.
No, the ones who are here with us, I am all friends with. That's what I know.
Yeah.
The show's not for everybody, so the people here, I like.
Yeah. Well, me too. And I like their humor. I know when they send me something like, oh, check this out. It's like, there's a punch of the dick coming. I know it. This is not going to go the way I think it's going to go. Yep. I just know it. Your memes are not acceptable. Your videos are usually not acceptable in polite society.
Yep.
They're acceptable to me. They're acceptable to Garrett. So
yep. Trust me, all my Facebook posting is in the fan page. I don't put anything on my actual wall.
Yeah, no need to.
Nope.
All right, Garrett, have a great day, buddy. We'll see you tomorrow. We'll do a members show. So if you're not a member, TDC, patreon.com/TDC podcast and become a member. We'll do a show for members tomorrow. The rest of you have a great weekend. We got one more weekend. I know you don't care, Garrett, but one more weekend without football, without foosball, without tackle ball. And then next weekend I can get back to hopefully some relative normalcy in my life. Also, I will say today is an exciting day, as 20 minutes from now, local time, an engineer is coming over to come up with a plan for the new studio.
I have an idea for him if you want.
What's that?
Can we get a CC camera?
Yeah.
Just something to cut to every once in a while when we need a pallet cleanser.
100% we can do that. It's just a matter of finding where she likes to lay and then putting a camera on it. But dude, that's a great fucking idea.
Whenever we do a nasty story, pull up the CC cam.
Yeah, pull up the CC cam. Hopefully she's just laying. Where is she? Oh yeah, she's crashed.
Usually on your feet.
In the corner right behind me. Yeah, she's crashed out. So all right, pal. Have a great day. I'll give you an update on the studio build and how that's what we're gonna do. But we are ready to get going on that ASAP. So I'm looking forward to it. But they're putting a bathroom in first. It's already plumbed for that, but got to have a bathroom in there of some sort. And so we'll come up with some design stuff and we'll go from there. And all right, everybody, have a great rest of the day.